The man punched the solid concrete wall, but the wall didn't budge at all. His wife mocked him, saying he was as weak as a dead dog. She then threw a bank card with a 1 million balance at him and told him to stay away from her. What she didn't know was that her so-called useless husband was actually the revered king of fighters. As they were leaving, the solid concrete wall began to crack like tofu. It turns out, 10 years ago, the legendary king of fighters of New York left the ring to marry a woman, hiding his identity and teaching her for 10 years while wearing a mask. One time while he was training her, he pulled the woman onto him by accident, and she landed in his arms. Just as she was about to remove his mask, he pushed her away. She was confused. Why had the king of fighters trained her so persistently for 10 years yet never revealed his true face? He told her that he will take off the mask himself when the time is right, and she agreed to wait for it. After the woman left, his assistant was also puzzled. After being married to his wife for a whole decade, why hadn't he told her who he really was? The man then took off his mask and said he just wanted a simple life with his wife. He mentioned that the once-in-a-decade King of Fighters tournament would be held tomorrow, and he planned to surprise her. At that moment, his half-brother Arthur appeared. Spotting the mask of the King of Fighters on the ground, he picked it up. The woman mistook him for the real King of Fighters. Arthur decided to go along with it and impersonated the title. When the woman learned he was the one who had trained her for 10 years, she was overjoyed. She immediately said she wanted to divorce her useless husband, even clinging to Arthur and saying she wanted to have his children. She returned home and started clearing her husband's belongings from the room, saying they would now sleep in separate beds. Just as the husband was confused, Arthur walked in and announced that he was the King of Fighters the woman had been talking about. Hearing that, the man argued that he was not the King of Fighters, because he is the real King of Fighters. Hearing this, Arthur burst out laughing, because the man only knew how to do house chores and had no idea how to fight. Arthur punched the wall to show off, and it cracked in several places. The woman was nearly dying of admiration, but the man dismissed it, saying the punch was weak and that he could kill him with a single blow. Unexpectedly, the wife showed contempt, saying that after 10 years of freeloading, he had no right to speak about the King of Fighters. The man replied that if Arthur could take one punch from him, everything would be proven. Arthur agreed, but the woman stopped him in the middle of the punch. She told him to stay within his limit and realize who he really is. She immediately pulled out divorce papers and told him to get lost. Only then did the man finally see how shallow and materialistic the wife he had lived with for 10 years truly was. Arthur also mocked him, so the man, full of rage, could only punch the wall to vent. Seeing that the wall didn't have a single crack in it, Arthur mocked him again, and the woman joined in as well. The man decided to leave, and as he was about to head out, the wife took out a bank card and humiliated him, telling him to take the money and crawl away like a lapdog. But the man wasn't interested in the money. He just asked her to return his mother's jade bracelet. Before leaving, he coldly warned her, at tomorrow's King of Fighters tournament, she would understand how stupid her decision was. They still didn't believe him, but as they left, the solid concrete wall again cracked like tofu. On the way back, the man saw a group of thugs bullying a little girl. Just as she was about to be punched to death, he stepped in. In only 3 seconds, he drove all the thugs away. It turned out the girl was a loyal fan of the King of Fighters and was selling posters nearby. Seeing how much she liked him, he invited her to the tournament tomorrow, promising a big surprise.